Well, the second week, it's hard to keep that up, to be honest. Yeah, they get a little bit tired. The newness is gone. So motivation, finding reasons to get excited is our job as coaches, but it's also the job of the team leaders. So, I think everybody, they get a little sore, get a little tired, injuries start catching up to you the second week. So, weather's a little warmer now. We got to push through it, and this is where teams are made.
And then one weekend, where would you say the strength of this year's team is?
Up front, both sides. Usually is our strength. Coach Sutton does a great job with the big fellas, and we rely on our linemen both sides. So we've been pretty happy with them, and they've carried us so far to this point.
And they're going to be helping an experienced quarterback, Tanner Burns, return for you guys. Just describe his style and what you expect to see out of him in his junior year.
Well, he had a good sophomore year. Learned pretty fast last year. Our expectation is for him to continue to learn. He played well as a sophomore, but we don't want a good sophomore playing football this year. We want a good junior who knows how to handle the job, and he's grown up a lot from last year as a player and a person, and he needs to keep growing and leading this team, not being necessarily a role player managing a game, but a little bit more of a playmaker where he runs the show as a quarterback on offense.
Yeah, exactly. He does not have your star running back to kind of back him up on offense this year. How do you expect him kind of settling into maybe a pocket passer sort of role, especially with Cordell Kessler to throw to?
Yeah, well, it's nice to have his leading receiver back. Ben Purdy's another great addition for us at wide receiver. But even though we lost our leading rusher from a year ago, we have a couple of real capable guys that have looked so good so far in camp, and it's Jaden Baker and Cam Smith. Have shined pretty well so far, so we're real happy with them and really most of the offense all around them.
Can you describe the chemistry between Tanner and Cordell? Because just looking at the numbers, they put up some pretty impressive ones in just their sophomore and junior seasons.
Yeah, I think all quarterbacks have to have some chemistry with their receivers, and Cordell was our leading receiver last year and put himself in good positions, and I think the offense put him in a position to make plays, and he did so when he was supposed to. Tanner's job is to get the ball where it belongs, on time and on target. And as long as he keeps doing that, we expect good things.
Second year back in the NECC, what did you learn about the conference and where you guys shape up?
We learned there's some good football played in the NECC. Being a little further out away from Fort Wayne media, they don't always get the attention they deserve. There's a couple of schools that are a little closer to the city. But, there's some good football played top to bottom, big school and small school. And, playing in some different venues last year, first time for myself personally being on some of those fields in about 20 years was interesting. Good players and good coaches, and so I feel like it's really a pretty wide open race, both sides.
And I know a lot of the kids were saying that the goal is this year to finish, that a lot of games were lost in the fourth quarter. How have you seen, especially the seniors, kind of pick up the intensity and make sure you don't lose those really close games?
Yeah, we won a couple of games at the end last year and lost a couple at the end, and so we finished 8-4. Probably we're a few plays away from a 10-win season, and maybe a few plays away from only maybe a 6-win season. So I think every team wants to finish, and the fourth quarter says a lot about your character as a football team, and we want ours to be strong and win those games.
Haven't won a sectional title since 2003. What's it going to be that wins it this year?
It takes a lot. The sectional, I believe that a high school sectional trophy in football, I think it's the hardest trophy to win at any sectional level in Indiana. It takes 3 weeks to do it. You need 3 weeks of focus and concentration, 3 weeks of good health, sometimes 3 weeks of the right draw, the right weather. I mean, there's so many factors that go into doing that. Every team wants to make their own luck, and doesn't want to admit luck's a part of it. But there's so many things that go into winning a sectional, and we've moved a little bit more north in this sectional. There's a lot of good teams in it, so we need to be healthy at the end of the season, and be able to run the ball and play a physical style, because you never know what you're going to be playing in. It might be sloppy in October, it might be snowing in November. So, you got to be ready for anything. But if you can't run the ball, in an outdoor sport in November in Indiana, you never know what you're going to have to handle.
And are you a Garrett graduate? That's what Catherine was telling me.
Yep.
What would it mean to bring home the hardware for your home?
Well, my senior year in high school was the first year in the sectional system. And we were a little bit below average, but we knocked off a conference champion, won the first sectional ever really played at Garrett High School. So, but the trophies haven't come very often around here. And so, it would be pretty special to be able to win one for the hometown and hang some banners and put some hardware in the cabinets here at Garrett High School.
Team motto heading into the season?
We don't do mottos, honestly. I think our expectation level is the same every year. We expect them to be first-class people and understand their priorities are faith, family, education, then football, and that's the same every year.
And then Blake said undefeated. How do you think that will that a tangible goal for you guys?
Well, if we aren't saying that, then we don't belong out here. So yes.